Deep in the Florida Everglades, something unprecedented just emerged from the swamp, the literal swamp. In just 8 days, they built what California couldn't construct in 8 years. 30-foot walls, razor wire, armed guards, and a moat filled with nature's most efficient security system. Thousands of hungry alligators. And the president himself just toured this fortress, and what he said will send shockwaves through every sanctuary city in America. 3,000 beds, 0 escape routes, maximum security for the worst of the worst. Yes, they're calling it Alligator Alcatraz, and it's about to change everything about immigration enforcement. The first inmates are scheduled to arrive soon, and the message is clear, and the footage is incredible, so don't look away. And while Trump builds walls to protect America's borders, you can build walls against aging with collagen. Just as our border security declined under Biden, your body's collagen production drops dramatically after 40 by 1% every single year. That's why I use ageless multi-collagen in my smoothies. It rebuilds your body's infrastructure with 5 types of collagen from 4 premium sources. No clumping, no odor, just smooth blending in your morning routine. Unlike government promises, this actually delivers firmer skin, stronger joints, healthier hair, no GMOs, no artificial junk, just clean collagen support. Every order helps feed hungry children through nokidhungry.org. Visit the link in the description, healthwithgary.com, for 51% off, free shipping, and a 60-day guarantee. That's healthwithgary.com. Build your body's defense system today. Now, let's jump into this. I got a text message from Kara. She's a White House reporter, and she just filed this report with Lindell TV about Alligator Alcatraz. I said, yeah, I'll share it. We're going to show it on the show tonight. Let's see what people are saying with Kara.
They're calling it Alligator Alcatraz, a brand new migrant detention center rising out of the Florida swamp, surrounded not just by fences, but by the most brutal security system that nature has to offer. Out there, 50 miles from Miami, escape isn't just illegal, it's suicidal. We're talking alligators, American crocodiles, Burmese pythons, black bears, and yes, the critically endangered but very real Florida panther. If you try to run, you'd better be faster than a reptile and braver than a big cat.
The snakes are fast, but alligators are big. We're going to teach them how to run away from an alligator, okay? If they escape prison. How to run away. Don't run in a straight line. Run like this. And you know what? Your chances go up about 1%.
The Everglades surrounding Alligator Alcatraz are also crawling with danger, from swarms of bloodthirsty mosquitoes carrying deadly viruses like West Nile and dengue, to venomous spiders, fire ants, and disease-spreading ticks lurking in the underbrush. This facility sits on the old Dade Collier airstrip, repurposed with temporary tents to hold up to 5,000 migrants, many with criminal records. Governor DeSantis and Attorney General James Uthmere have praised it as a natural deterrent for illegal border crossings. Here is what President Trump had to say.
I mean, you don't always have land so beautiful and so secure. We have a lot of bodyguards and a lot of cops that are in the form of alligators. You don't have to pay them so much. But I wouldn't want to run through the Everglades for long. It will keep people where they're supposed to be. This is a very important thing.
Of course, not everyone is applauding. Liberal activist groups and international human rights monitors are already blasting the facility as inhumane, with some filing lawsuits to shut it down before the first detainee even arrives. They argue the swampy conditions and the threat of wild animals amount to cruel and unusual punishment. Supporters of Alligator Alcatraz say that unfortunately for illegal aliens, the only legal sanctuary in Florida is reserved for endangered crocodiles and panthers.
Do you think that alligators are going to be more like vicious than correctional officers, or?
I think it puts more fear into people, right. Yes.
Reporting for Lindell TV at the White House, I'm Kara Castronova.
Kara Castronova, Lindell TV, thank you for that. What is this? Barry Cunningham posted this. The first pick of the 2025 Alligator Alcatraz draft. Terrifying. Yeah, I think all the illegals are going to think twice. But there's no place to run. Dom Lucier breaker of narratives. He was there at Alligator Alcatraz talking about the protesters that were sent from radical liberal organizations. Proud Boy leader Enrique Tarrio is getting bombarded. Detainees have been getting transported to the facility. Let's listen to what's going on here.
The media downtown. We're down at Alligator Alley right here, right outside the entrance. We've got a lot of people that's protesting. President Trump is getting ready to take off. Hopefully we get some footage of the gators later on. Things have been escalating. I heard that a woman recently got hit in the face. So they're pushing everyone down to the single file line down to the right. You got press and all the media down to the right. And everyone, just like I said before, waiting for President Trump to take off and trying to de-escalate the situation. We're moving everyone down the single file line.
It's not part of us.
You are not a part of our group.
You're not a part of our group if you stay. Only people who...
No! This is indigenous people! Let's go back and get some rules!
It looks like they've been bringing some of the migrants in. They've been bringing some of the migrants into this facility as well, from what it seems, so they have to clear up the roads to bring in some of our detainees. You see the water in the canal over to our right, where it got this infamous name, the Alligator Alley. So thankfully we don't have any that's done popped up and giving us any surprises.
Please walk back. If you choose to stay, you are not a part of our group. Thank you. If you want to respect the organizers, please walk back. If you choose to stay, you are not a part of our group. Thank you. If we could all start walking, whoever respects. Single file line. Security, please let people approach.
Out of the roadway.
Hey, we're not engaging.
Hey, oh, you gotta stay off the road. Hey, oh, you got to stay off the road.
Yes, and stay off the road. We actually agree on that one thing.
Looks like a lot of alligator food out there. Let's see. Devroy Darkins, a Florida wildlife director, just went on CNN to say alligators are the real victims. Oh my goodness. What?
How much of a threat does this volatile environment pose to the detainees? And several thousand are going to be moved there, especially when considering this will be a tent city exposed to storms and potentially even hurricanes.
I think the storms are a real concern, but I'll say this, when it comes to the wildlife, I'm more concerned for the wildlife than the folks on the site. I've actually waited in the wetlands not far from that site myself.
Okay, so she values the wildlife over the detainees. I wasn't expecting that. Oh my goodness. I thought like these detainees were like, untouchable, sacred, individuals. But I guess it's really the wildlife.
On the site. I've actually waited in the wetlands not far from that site myself, waist deep in the water, no problem, wasn't attacked by alligators. The idea that these are vicious animals out to attack people is rather absurd. And I think it detracts from the important message, which is that this doesn't belong here. Floridians don't want it here. And it's wasteful and an incredible risk to our ecological resources.
Yeah, really? Is it that facility has been there for years with no impact? Let's hear here's Secretary Noem. People don't have to come here if they self-deport and go home.
People don't have to come here. If they self-deport and go home, they can come back legally. We will let them come back legally.
And there is a lot of self-deportation.
Yes. But if you wait and we bring you to this facility, you don't ever get to come back to America. You don't get the chance to come back and be an American again and work here. So people don't have to come.
DeSantis in the background. Hey, I want to say something. Here's POTUS talking about his relationship with Governor Ron DeSantis. Remember that primary? That was pretty brutal. Let's see.
How would you describe the relationship and what future does Governor DeSantis have?
I think it's a 10. Maybe 9-9, because there might be a couple of little wounds. So maybe it's not 9. I think we have a 10.
What do you say? There's a couple wounds? Hang on.
9, because there might be a couple of little wounds. So maybe it's not 9. I think we have a 10. We get along great.
A couple of bitter wounds. Yeah, that primary was pretty rough, right? Let's see what else is going on. What? Biden wanted me here? President Trump?
Put them out in the hot. I think our viewers at home should note that this is air-conditioned facility. Yes, so if any of the news claims are keeping them out in the hot, humid South Florida, that is wrong. It's probably 62 degrees here,
to be honest.
Or 72.
Hey, Biden wanted me in here. Okay, he wanted me. It didn't work out that way, but he wanted me in here. That son of a bitch.
He called Biden the son of a bitch. He said, "Did you hear that?" Oh yes, I heard it. I heard it. Now, of course, he's referencing the lawfare. They tried to imprison President Trump through the the entire campaign. Here, listen. Let's listen closely.
He wanted me in here. That son of a bitch.
Gotta love it, man. Here's more. What is your message to Governor Gavin Newsom from inside this facility?
Here and learn something. Proud of it.
Mr. President, Mr. Governor, what's your message to Governor Gavin Newsom inside of this facility?
Well, the first thing you should do is come here and learn something, because they don't do this. They don't know. They wouldn't know where to begin, and if they did, it would cost them 100 times more. So I would say he should call the governor and Christie, and I'm sure you'd give him because his state is a disaster, and he doesn't do this. We're proud of him.
Gavin Newsom. Let's see what else is going on here. Oh, we got some more. POTUS and NOAA on the ground. Here's video of them arriving in the Everglades at Alligator Alcatraz. Here's President Trump remarking on the passing of the big, beautiful bill. Governor DeSantis by his side as he is touching down in Florida earlier today.
I think it's going to be the greatest bill ever passed, even for you as an example. Tremendous amount of homeland security. Oh, tremendous amount. It's going to keep the border secure because, we have it secure now, but we need to build more wall. I built almost 600 miles of wall. We need more wall. And all of that's covered in this bill. This bill is amazing for everybody. It's an amazing bill for Florida, too. Really great.
An amazing bill that we now know passed. Here's more. President Trump. It was meant more of as a joke, but the more I thought of it, what? What?
They were actually.
Is this a dream come true for you, sir?
I was thinking about that. I must say it was meant more as a joke, but the more I thought of it, and they were serious. They were actually crocodiles. They were crocodiles from Africa. They are a step beyond. But no, that was really meant as a joke, but a lot of people liked it. A lot of people think we should do it, frankly.
Keep going down the line here. Here's President Trump talking about who's going into Alligator Alcatraz.
Still prioritizing going after the worst of the worst, or are you now arresting anyone who is here?
The worst of the worst, always first. And I think it's great government. That's what we've done. And nobody can ever forget that this group of people, Biden or whoever it was, whoever it was, but this group of people, a small group that circled the Resolute desk, what they did to this country. Think of it, what your time, all the time, you have to waste through this. It's an unforced error. We had no problem with this.
Called it an unforced error. I mean, they wouldn't need Alligator Alcatraz if Joe Biden just followed the law and locked down the border. But no, they need to import their voters. Okay, so another reporter asking about, is this the model? Is this the model going forward, Mr. President? Now, I mean, let's be serious. Not every state can have an Alligator Alcatraz. I don't think that the climate would permit it in some parts of the country. But maybe there are adequate substitutes for alligators in other parts of the nation. But let's see what he has to say here.
And is this the model going forward, Mr. President?
It can be. I mean, you don't always have land so beautiful and so secure. We have a lot of bodyguards and a lot of cops that are in the form of alligators. You're not dependent so much. But I wouldn't want to run through the Everglades for long. We'll keep people where they're supposed to be. These are very important things. We're setting records at the border. We had no people come to us. Zero, no people. But we're going to keep it that way. So Ron did great.
And is this the model
I think what's great about this thing is that there's a landing strip right there on premises, so they can fly these people in, fly them out, and be done with them. Here we have more. This is the president. This looks like the gaggle he gave this morning as he was leaving for Alligator Alcatraz. President Trump heading before departing. These are his remarks.
And everybody, and I think it's going to be great. And then I'll be back here fighting for the bill, and I hear it's going okay. We'll move it along. But we'll be back here pretty early.
Now, I got the email on this, the presidential schedule. It's public record. I get it every morning, or actually every night. And I noticed that his departure was around like 7 a.m. from D.C., going down to Florida, and then he was back in D.C. by like 3 o'clock. I mean, like, it's crazy when you think about this guy's schedule and how much land, how far he's traversing to do these things. Leaving the White House in the morning, flying to Florida, checking it all out, inspecting Alligator Alcatraz, and then flying right back. Anyway, I just remember getting the email about his departure and arrival, and I thought how wild it was. But here's more from the departure. Marine One outside the White House.
Warning some Republicans not to go too crazy with the cuts. Are there parts of the bill or amendments that you think cut too much?
We're going to have to see the final version. I don't want to go too crazy with cuts. I don't like cuts. There are certain things that have been cut, which is good. I think we're doing well. We're going to have to see. It's very complicated stuff. Great enthusiasm, as you know. And I think in the end, we're going to have it. What do you think, Caroline? Yeah, I think it is.
And, of course, the bill did pass. Let's see what else we've got here. Here's Benny Johnson arriving at Alligator Alcatraz. He says, check out the Jurassic Park style entrance. 30-foot walls, razor wire, armed guards. None of this existed a week ago. Insanity impressive from the state of Florida. Mosquitoes swarming me by the thousands, millions of gators, hell on earth.
Shoulder is the action. Well, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to Alligator Alcatraz. The entrance here is a 30-foot tall wall. None of this was here 5 days ago. It's got razor wire on the top. Just unbelievably impressive what the state of Florida has done here. Over my shoulder is the actual facility. As you can see, we'll be entering soon. This is the entry gate for Alligator Alcatraz. Whew, got mosquitoes everywhere. They're like landing. There you go. Look at that. Not a fun place to be put in prison. You do not want to go here. Obviously, this is going to be a 5,000-bed federal facility. President Trump will be here soon. I'm getting swarmed by mosquitoes right now, and we saw at least 30 alligators on our way in driving. It is in the middle of truly nowhere. It took us an hour, 4-hour drive to get here today. It's crazy. Look at that. And there you go, ladies and gentlemen. As far as the eye can see, you go in, you don't come out. And if you do...
Let's see what else we've got here. Here's more from Benny Johnson. He says, I don't think anyone realizes how impressive Alligator Alcatraz is. Now what you're seeing here, this is the tent, basically like a tent city they just erected. It is air conditioned. And look at, they just put all those beds and fences. I mean, it's ready to go. Unreal footage right there. Okay, I think we got some more on this too. There was a press conference as well. Let's see if we can pull up some of that. Here's Byron Donalds talking about the construction, calling it a logistical marvel.
The deport. First of all, Mr. President, we all have to thank you for your leadership and for the mandate that the American people gave you to finally secure our borders and to deport criminal illegal aliens and longstanding illegal aliens out of the United States. That is a mandate given to you by the American people. I know Secretary Noem, Stephen Miller, Governor DeSantis, myself, on behalf of the other members of Congress in the Senate, and of course here in Florida, we are behind you 100% in that mission. To the governor, I really appreciate you and commend you for your leadership on this, taking swift, decisive action to building this facility. One of the things that has occurred because of the work you did earlier this year with the legislature is that our sheriffs are out there every single day. They are arresting these criminal aliens in our streets, and they're seeing some backlog in their jails. So this facility primarily goes to address some of that backlog and then to help us fulfill the mission that the president has led us to. So Governor, thank you for your leadership and thank you for your decisive action on this. It really does mean a lot to all the people of Florida, of course the people of the 19th Congressional District. Secretary Noem, I mean, what can I say? The president's right, you're double tough. So we appreciate all your leadership. You and Tom Homan have been doing a great job. And I'm actually going back to D.C. after this because we have to vote on one big, beautiful bill in the House. We have to get that to the president's desk so we can get you the resources that you need to fulfill the mission that the American people have asked us to do. I totally agree with what Mr. Guthrie has said. This is a logistical marvel when something like this occurs. We've seen Florida Department of Emergency Management answer the bell time and time again. The governor has said we need to accomplish this, and DEM gets that job done. And we had a side conversation about, I know there were some concerns. People were like, well, what happens if a hurricane comes? What happens if this happens? And I looked at Kevin Guthrie and I said, you already have a plan, don't you? And he goes, of course we have a plan. You know that we do. This is what Florida does, Mr. President. And so I want to commend you for your leadership and your vision on this. Governor, thank you for all that you've done with your vision and determination. Secretary Noem, we're going to get the bill done so you get the resources you need. See you, sir.
Thank you very much. That was awesome. Great words there from Byron Donalds. And here we have, this is Acting ICE Director Todd Lyons.
And Undersecretary. Sir, just first on behalf of the men and women of ICE, we just want to thank you for allowing us to do our job again. You know, your vision and Undersecretary Noem's leadership, this is what the American people want. And I hope that you see great results of what we're doing out there every day of getting the worst of the worst out of our communities. Because of you and Secretary Noem, I have the privilege to lead one of the most premier and the finest law enforcement agencies that we do have in the United States. And the men and women of HSI and ERO Miami do incredible work like you highlighted. And with the governor in the state of Florida, the partnership in Florida has been amazing. The 287G program is only going to help us to identify all those known gotaways and get the worst of the worst out of the neighborhoods. And through our Homeland Security Task Force, we are going to make America safe again. So thank you very much to both you and the Secretary.
Yeah, man. Accolades around. Here's Stephen Miller, one of my favorite members of the administration. Let's see what he has to say. I love this guy. Stephen Miller, man, this guy is just, I love him.
Open dream. Thank you, Mr. President. I just want to say on a personal note, getting to watch what you've done over the last 5 months to deliver on a 50-year hope and dream of the American people to secure the border. When President Trump came into office on January 20th, the United States had endured the largest wave of illegal immigration in human history. Not just American history, human history. And within just a few days, President Trump, through his strength, leadership, diplomacy, and vision, achieved the most secure border anyone in the world has ever seen. When we recently went overseas to the NATO summit, I had senior staff in foreign governments come up to me and ask me how he achieved the Trump miracle on his border, and could that be replicated in their countries. For individuals who don't work in this space, to have 0 successful illegal entries in an entire month should be an impossible achievement. There's a 2,000-mile border with one of the poorest countries in the world, and you have open travel from 150 countries into Central America and South America. There are 2 billion people in the world that would economically benefit from illegally coming to the United States. And through the deployment of the military, through the deployment of novel legal and diplomatic tools, through the building of physical infrastructure, through the empowering of ICE and Border Patrol and the entire federal law enforcement apparatus, President Trump achieved absolute border security. And now, once this legislation is passed, he will be able to make that with those resources permanent. Watching what you've done, sir, has been one of the honors of a lifetime. I'm proud to be able to play any role in it. And what President Trump is going to achieve next with the resources in this bill will make America safer, stronger, freer, more sovereign, and more prosperous than it's ever been before. Thank you, sir.
Let's go, baby. Let's go. If you got value from this report, tap subscribe. My final thought is next. Alligator Alcatraz represents more than a detention center. It's a declaration of war on Biden's open border catastrophe. When Florida builds a 3,000-bed fortress in 8 days while California can't fix a pothole in 8 months, that's not incompetence. That's the difference between patriots and politicians, and Trump nailed it. Those alligators are better security than anything Washington ever designed. Governor DeSantis and Secretary Noem just showed every blue state how real leaders operate. No committees, no environmental impact studies, just action. And the message to criminal aliens is crystal clear. Florida doesn't play games. You run from ICE here, you're gator bait. And this facility proves that we can secure our nation when we have the will. So here's my question. Should every border state build their own Alligator Alcatraz? Just drop a yes or no, sound off below. And you can support this show. You want to get your own Alligator Alcatraz t-shirt, you can see it right there on the screen. Yeah, no escape. Or if you want to support President Autopen, you can get one of those shirts. Trigger a liberal today at the Next News merch shop at shop.nextnewsnetwork.com and support our work here.